Good morning. I haven't been on in a few days. I've been busy with various things. I had a double ear infection, so I had to take care of that. And I found myself kind of in an emergency situation a couple of days ago. And so I decided to try something, which I don't recommend anybody do. But I used essential oils, tea tree in my ears, and it demulsified wax, and specifically in this ear demulsified the wax pretty quickly, and I ended up having something quite like swimmer's ear going on. So I'm feeling much better. But it again, why do I study like I do? Well, I had a conversation with my study partner, who is also very much like myself, Maha's treasure box, where we have to fight every day for our health, for our well-being. And not to say that it's to put anything, like it's nobody's fault. We just have bodies that are challenged, and part of our bigger agreement is that we learn to navigate these troubled waters. So here I am with my body kind of in a state of high disrepair, and I am now learning about temperaments. What are temperaments? Hot, cold, wet, dry, earth, fire, water, air, the elements. And the elements factor large in our health. And when our elements or our temperaments are out of balance, it really affects our homeostasis, our sense of balance. The word homeostasis means balance. So today on this full moon in Leo, which is a pretty wild one in some ways, because you think of Leo as being the charming lion king that is perhaps kind, perhaps not. We've seen a couple of different versions. When you talk about the movie Lion King, you got Scar, who is one type of lion, and then you have Musafa, that's another type of lion that is a more royal, a more favorable. And now I'm a Leo, but I'm Sag rising. So what I find, I'm going to ask people to please hit the like, share, and subscribe, and to join me and dialogue with me. Because what I find is that my level of honesty and some of the things I say offend people, because they think they're supposed to, I guess, do something with it. And yes, maybe you are, and no, maybe you're not. I don't know. Whatever you're called to do, of course, do what you think. But at the same time, Sagittarius has a way of saying things in blunt and plain terms that a lot of times others don't really care for. And I have all my life been dealing with this, but I can just tell you right now what's coming up in this next series of eclipses is just that, how we navigate the many things, including medical, because seventh house is your medical provider. So on this full moon in Leo, Spirit, just please do tell me the energy as it is building up. And we're going to use the Tinker Stem today. And what oh yeah, that is so true. It's like a time capsule. We're in suspensions. I'm trying to hold this still because I'm really shaky today for some reason. And so we're in suspension. We're in a state of like a time capsule. We're not really free to move about the building, if you will. And, we've had things like COVID, and we've had whatever that is. I don't even know that I know, and I don't think any of us do know. I think that they're wanting us to take a RNA vaccination, and that's why we have it. So you can see up here in this time capsule, like there's this gaseous goo that's coming out the top. And this could be why my stuff gets kind of, held back, because I'm probably not supposed to use words, and I'm probably not supposed to talk about the gaseous gas, and that this is an RNA, and, we don't know what that is exactly. So, and they want us to marry it. Down here you can see this wedding ring. They want to hold us to the ground. And it's interesting because a 6 is family. A 12 to me represents the 12 signs of the zodiac. And I find that 1, 2 represents action. 1, 2, and then you add them together and you get 3. So 1, 2, 3, go. So there's some things about this card, and it's suggesting, in addition to that there could be an otherworldly influence, like an alien influence. If you look, there's like a alien inside the time capsule, or there's another body inside the time capsule. And could aliens be us in a future sense? Of course they could. And what I find interesting is that I have some stories to talk about due to something that's been occurring in my life. So I don't want to go into that right now. I want to stick to what we're doing. But this podcast today suggests that we are in a time capsule and that maybe we're starting to figure that out, that time is rather an illusion. Okay, so today is the 5th of February. We have a full moon. And don't forget, I didn't put my crystals out last night, but that doesn't matter. If you put them out, like today, you know, there'll be the influence of the moon all day. I'm going to put everything out today and kind of catch back up. And, you know, last night I was tired. I work really hard. I'm in this medical astrology program. Now, I was in a different medical astrology program, and I decided that because I couldn't apply it to my life in a really succinct and clear way for myself. Yes, it was gimmicky, it was interesting, but it wasn't for me. And I'm just not going to mention which program it was. I mean, you know, if you look back, you'll see what it was, but I'm not going to go there because I'm not trying to disparage anyone. But classical astrology, the original astrology, is the method I will be using for medical. I don't want to try to get cute with it. It isn't cute. It's serious, and when people need the answers, they need the answers. They don't need something that's gimmicky. So where are we? 5 of water. Exactly that. We don't need something that's kind of that's kind of outside of the veil. We need something that works for us. We need to be able to actually grasp it, not have some kind of thin wall between us and our care. And interestingly enough, that's kind of what we have. Even though we have something called care, it really is lacking in all kinds of ways. I mean, if you have pain, you can't go get pain medicine. They think you're a drug addict. They say, no, you know, we can't really give you that stuff anymore because, you know, it gets us into trouble, and it looks like we're feeding a drug problem. And so, yeah, there's a lot of illusion. There's a lot of chaos and a lot of pain. But also there's like an astronaut or something flying up around the moon. So again, this indication to some otherworldly like energy, some kind of something that doesn't necessarily add up to what we know. Something different is coming. Our relationship to the universe might be opening up, which, wow, that would be beautiful, because we aren't, whoever says that we are the only living beings upon the universe, it's so narcissistic, I can't stand it. And I've done other podcasts on this. And so let's just pull the last card, the energy, and I'm just gonna. So right now it is a 10 of air, where we're kind of coming to this place where one way of being and thinking and doing is coming to an end, and a new thinking way and a way of being, a new type of air is coming in. Fascinating, because Pluto is going into Aquarius. What is that going to mean? I don't know, but hang on to your hat. It is going to change the energy entirely. Pluto is going to transform groups as the eclipse comes in and says, okay, for your very survival, you're going to need to look at the 7th house and decide whether you can partner, whether you can sign contracts, whether your medical provider is telling you the truth. All of these things are getting ready to be part of the bigger dynamic now with this eclipse that's coming up in about 7 months now. So I've been talking about it a little bit because I want people to be prepared, and I'm seeing a kind of a big shift right now. I don't know if other people can feel it, but I certainly can. And a lot of times what I'm seeing is that I'm just often a little tiny bit ahead in my reaction to these eclipses or this bigger energy, which is fascinating to me. I had no idea until I went into medical astrology. And so what I'd like you to consider is to order a medical forecast, a monthly. Consider when you have issues, contact myself or my co-reader Maha, and we will schedule a time with you, or we will do a monthly forecast, which is an audio file, which we will send to you, and you're welcome to ask questions within the range of the things that we discuss in that audio file. We cannot prescribe. All we are able to do in that sense is just to give you recommendations, what we might do for our own bodies. And because we both have been so medically challenged, we have a lot of good ideas. And with that, please do consider hitting like, share, and subscribe. Help me grow. And thank you so much for joining me here today.